Hello, this is Di Dage, and welcome to Di's Opinions. I just finished watching Leap of Faith twice, and I have to say I am very pleased with the results of this episode. Having the FlimxRarity brothers come back was genius, and to be honest, I've been waiting for this episode for a really long time. I like knowing beforehand about the things I'm about to watch, so previews of movies and episodes appeal to me. I don't mind spoilers because I love to know. So since I knew I was watching a FlimxRarity episode from the very beginning, I was super excited. Leap of Faith is the 85th episode in MLP, and in this episode the FlimxRarity brothers come back to Ponyville to show off their FlimxRarity Miracle Cure-All tonic, which promises Ponyville citizens a chance to be rid of all their ailments. Applejack has her doubts about the merits of the tonic until Granny Smith begins taking it and appears to be cured of all her aches and pains. Once Applejack finds the secret behind the tonic, however, she is torn between telling the truth about the tonic, which is actually a completely useless elixir of apples and beet leaves, or keeping the tonic going because of the positive effects it has on everyone around her, despite the tonic not actually doing anything. We have seen this kind of plot done before, but I like how FlimxRarity really brought it to life. You know that FlimxRarity's product was a sham from the beginning, so that wasn't the whole basis of the episode like other placebo substance episodes try to do. Instead, the episode focuses on the struggle between Applejack's honesty and her beliefs of right and wrong. I should point out that this is another key character episode in MLP, which means that it focuses solely on a problem only one of the main six has to fix, or they realize something about their element. The keys are usually sentimental items the character finds or gains by the end of the episode. No one knows what these keys might do or symbolize, but most assume it is for the mystery box Twilight found at the beginning of the season. In any case, for a key episode, I thought it was done well, but I was a little disappointed because it really didn't grow FlimxRarity's character very much. I love FlimxRarity. I remember the first time when I saw their Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 episode. It was late and I couldn't sleep that night, and I was the only one in my house at the time. It was around 1 a.m., so I decided I would watch the newest MLB episode, since I recorded it earlier that day. I started the episode and thought, oh fuck, another apple cunt episode. And then a few minutes in, I heard FlimxRarity start singing, and it was like, oh my fucking god, this is wonderful. And then I rewatched the episode like 10 times before I fell asleep. At that moment, I instantly fell in love with them. Now, my experience with Leap of Faith wasn't as exciting as the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 episode, but it was still wonderful to see FlimxRarity again. I just wish they had a backstory and more character growth, because really they are exactly the same from their first appearance in MLP, with the only difference being their new product. The song in Leap of Faith wasn't as good either than the one in Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000, but the tune is still catchy enough for it to stay in my head for over a week. One thing that bugs me about this episode, though, is the lack of any other main six characters. I mean, I guess they didn't need much of a role since the episode was mainly focused on the Apple family, but still, in the Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 episode, they are at least present in the background. Also, wouldn't they have all been interested to see that FlimxRarity are back in Ponyville? Just seems like a missed opportunity for some really interesting moments. Another thing that I'm curious about is whatever happened to their previous business. They could have made some mention as to why they stopped that, since it was fine in theory and their only problem was turning the quality checker off. Without doing that, they could have legitimately won against the Apple family, and even if they didn't, they could have done it again and won in another town. Seriously, whatever happened to that? Also, I feel that they totally won in this episode, because they still kept all the money they made and escaped out of town with pretty much no consequence. Which should have been a problem for me since that kind of is a dick move, but hey, it's FlimxRarity. This episode was good overall, but I see it as lacking. Making it a key episode for Applejack kind of ruined the involvement of the FlimxRarity brothers, because I was really hoping for an episode about them, not a repeat episode of what they have already done. At least this episode didn't ruin FlimxRarity for me, and there were some really great moments, like the screenshot of Flim looking at some ass. Seriously, that is a perfect screenshot. Did I ever mention that these two are the most sexiest mofos in MLP? Seriously, just look at that swag. Sexy as fuck. I guess I should mention Granny Smith and the transformation of her character, but honestly I didn't care much about that. I mean, it's great that she gained confidence in herself and experienced things similar to her younger years, but I feel that Season 4 has too many Apple Family episodes already, so anything about them now is just glazed over for me. I give this episode a 6 out of 10, because the moral was decent and everything overall was decent, but it really was just a rehash of Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000, with really no character development given to Flim and Flam, which was the only thing I was hoping for this episode. And there was too much Applejack. Thanks for listening. Hope you liked my review.